Diego Valdez, lane 2 at the 100, 102.67. Ahead of Hong in lane 3. Heat 6 getting ready to finish. Sung Young Hong, Scarlet Aquatics, lane 3 coming in. 213.07. Heat 7 up next. Heat 7, lane 1 for Riviera Swim Team, Peyton Shar. Lane 2 is open. Lane 3 from Scarlet Aquatics, Aiden Nugent. 4 for Buckeye Swim Club, Brody Van Fren. 5 for Greater Toledo Aquatic, Jacob Cheatwood. 6 for Scarlet Aquatics, Anson Chen. 7 for Carmel, Cameron Harrell. And 8 for Riptide, William Patrick Curran. William Patrick Curran out front, Riptide in lane 8. She turned into 101.30. Heat 7 finishing. Jacob Cheatwood, Greater Toledo, 210.76. Heat 8. Heat 8, lane 1 for Boonville Aquatic Dolphins, Luke Pryor. 2 for South Bend Swim Club, Archer Jankoviak. 3 for Carmel, William Pugh. 4 for Indiana University, Akarsh Patel. 5 for Club Wolverine, Maddox Hammond. 6 for Indiana Swim Club, Henry Haupt. 7 for Rocket Swim Club, Austin Sorg. And at 8 for Franklin Regional, Isaac Layton. At the 100-meter mark in Heat 8, Pugh from Carmel turning into 1:00.19. Ahead of Swords from Rocket Swim Club, lane 7. Need a coaching representative from Buckeye Swim Club. Coaching representative from Buckeye Swim Club at the lower admin table, please. Austin Swords, Rocket Swim Club, 2:06.09. Fastest so far. Entering the first of our circle seated heats coming up now, Heat 9. Heat 9, lane 1 for Scarlet Aquatics, sated in. 2 for Carmel, Carson Zotak. 3 for Cardinal Community, Henry Coe. 4 for Indiana University, Andrew Reeder. 5 for Scarlet Aquatic, Richard Poplowski. 6 for Grand Rapids Aquatics, Eric Perzek. 7 for Scarlet Aquatics, Owen Kitterling. And in lane 8 for Mason Manor Race, Ethan Fang. Andrew Reeder, lane 4, already with his Olympic trial cut in this event. The trial cut, 2:00.49. Eric Perzak turning at the 100, 58.64. Andrew Reeder, Indiana University, leads them back here in Heat 9. Gets a challenge at the end, and Perzak from Grand Rapids out-touches Reeder. 2:03.90 as we head into Heat 10. Heat 10, lane 1 for Zionsville Swim Club, Gavin Coggin. Lane 2 for Lakeside Swim Team, Boone Wilcox. 3 for Ohio State University, Shavas Fick. 4 for Carmel Swim Club, Greg Enoch. Lane 5 for Carmel, Andrew Shackle. 6 for Summit City Aquatics, Owen Lindsay. 7 for Indiana Swim Club, Lucas Pagel. 8 for Mason Manor Race, Robert Karolf. Don't forget, we're going to have two swim-offs coming up at the end of the men's 100 butterfly before we circle back into our 400 freestyle preliminary heats. Greg Enoch, Carmel Swim Club, turning in a 56.26 ahead of his teammate Andrew Shackle, lane 5, who was around in a 57.40. Greg Enoch, 158.90. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a new meet record in the men's 200 butterfly. 158.90. Heat 11. This is our final preliminary heat here in the men's 200 butterfly. Then we're going to have two swim-offs coming up before we circle back to the 400 freestyle preliminaries. Underway in lane one for Fast Tigers, Luis Sanchez. 2 swimming unattached, Boilermaker Aquatic, Wyatt Blair. 3 for Greater Kalamazoo, Liam Smith. 4 for Carmel Swim Club. I was going to say the current record holder in this event, but that was broken in the last heat by Greg Enoch, his teammate. The new record, 158.90. But Aaron Shackle here in lane 4. Lane 5 for Indiana University, James Cahill. 6 for Indiana University, Alejandro Kincaid. 7 for Lakeside Swim Team, Thomas Mercer. And lane 8 for Carmel is Emil Haig. Aaron Shackle ahead at the 100, 55.60. Ahead of James Cahill, Indiana University in lane 6. So 2 swim-offs coming up at the conclusion of the heat that's in the water before we circle back to 400 freestyle. Aaron Shackle turned at the 150, 126.06. Less than half a length to go now, coming into the preliminaries of our final heat in men's 200 butterfly. Meet record out of the last heat, 158.90. Shackle's going to beat that, 157.04, reestablishing himself as the meet record holder in the 200 butterfly. How cool was that, huh? Oh, you guys could have applauded louder for that. I thought that was worthy of something special for sure. That was cool. 2 swim-offs coming up now. This is a swim-off in the women's 100 backstroke. Gentlemen, make way for the ladies there. They're coming in. Lane 4 for Central Ohio, Addison Doherty. And 5 for South Bend Swim Club, Addison Zakele. After this heat in the water, we're going to have a swim off in the women's 100 breaststroke. So busy afternoon here. Addison Doherty, Central Ohio Aquatics, 105.87. Our next swim off in the women's 100 breaststroke. And this is a swim off, women's 100 breaststroke, lane 1 for Indiana University, Carolyn Foltz. And lane 5 for Hydra Aquatics, Madeline Bossler. Looks to be Carolyn Foltz, Indiana University, 112.32. Now circling back to alternating heats of the women's and men's 400 freestyle. Coming up now, this is heat 5 of the women's 400 freestyle preliminaries. Heat 5 here for the women's 400 free. Lane 1 for Mason Manarays, Greer Gordon. 2 for Upper Arlington, Kira Powers. 3 for Carmel, Sabrina Ledwith. 4 for Mason Manarays, Julia Schaefer. 5 for Club Wolverine, Aoife Harkin. 6 for North Canton Aquatic, Jamie Forbes. 7 for North Coast Aquatic Team, Anna Kuhel. And lane 8 for Carmel Swim Club, Marin Sims. 300 turn here for Ledwith. Lane 3, 322.87. Power second at the 300. Lane 2, 325.28. And Sabrina Ledwith, Carmel Swim Club, 431.71. Heat 5 for the men. Heat 5 for the men. Lane 1 for Scarlet Aquatics, Jacob Kim. 2 for Carmel Swim Club, Anderson Kopp. 3 for Michigan Lakeshore, Joseph Engel. 4 for Scarlet Aquatics, Jeremiah Tomioka. 5 for Carmel, William Pugh. Lane 6 is open. Lane 7 for Scarlet Aquatics, Vincent Kim. And lane 8 for Greater Toledo, London Rising. Anderson Kopp, Carmel Swim Club here in Heat 5. Lane 2 is going to turn at the 200. 201.75 ahead of Jacob Kim, Scarlet Aquatics in lane 1. 203.02. .300 turn. That's still Kim and Kopp, lanes 1 and 2. Anderson Kopp from Carmel brought it back on that last 100 to touch first in Heat 5, 4:06.12. Heat 6 for the women. Heat 6 for the women, lane 1 for Fast Tigers, Claire Francis. 2 for Fast Tigers, Isabel Hoyk. 3 for the Tigers, Tiga Madera. 4 for Irish Aquatic, Claire DeBridney. 5 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Annabelle Frankie. 6 for Carmel, Addison Zernecki. 7 for Pohana, Olivia Kroc. And in lane 8 for Fast Tigers, Emma Schwertfeger. Results of preliminary swims, the men's 200 butterfly. Second alternate in D is Zhu. First alternate is Schultz. In the D final, Thomas, Chen, Hong, Burt, and Curran. We also have Boyd, Van Freyen, and Kitterley. Second alternate in C is Cheatwood, and also could be second alternate in C. Let me count this up again. This looks weird. Hold on. All right, let me start over again. So, here are the results of preliminary swims, the men's 200 butterfly. Second alternate in D is Zhu. First alternate, Schultz. In the D final, Thomas, Chen, Hong, Burt, Curran, Boyd, Van Freyen, and Kitterley. In the C final, Jankovic, Coe, Hammonds, Coggin, Buff, Pugh, Pressler, and Pryor. In the B final, Fang, Pagel, Sanchez, Karolf, Kincaid, Sorge, Poplawski, and Zotak. And in the A final of the men's 200 butterfly, looks like Wilcox, Reeder, Perzak, Lindsay Smith, Shackle, Cahill, and Enoch. Time now is 12:48, 30-minute scratch rule in effect for event number 29. Addison Cernecki, Carmel Swim Club, 428.75. Heat 6 now for the men. Heat 6 for the men. Lane 1 for Scarlet Aquatics, Eric Wu. 2 for Carmel Swim Club, Eddie Zhu. 3 for Dublin Community Swim Team, Aiden Frazier. 4 for Greater Kalamazoo, Elijah Rolfson. 5 for Alto Swim Club, Hugo Thomas. 6 for Carmel Swim Club, William Lathrop. 7 for Indiana University, Alexander Stone. And 8 for Club Wolverine, Christopher Gregg. Rolfson 201.84 ahead of Thomas in lane 5, 203.15. Elijah Rolfson, Greater Kalamazoo at the 300 304.93. With Thomas second in lane 5 and third Lathrop in lane 6. Rolfson 406.96. Heat 13. Heat 7 for the women now underway. Lane 1 for Scarlet Aquatics, Carolina Shaw. Open lanes in 2 and 3. Lane 4 for Hydra Aquatics, Campbell Payton. 5 for Crown Point, Isabella Tufts. 6 for UIndy, Sydney Alamine. 7 for Fisher's Area Swimming Tigers, Francesca Ramey. And 8 for Westfield Aquatics, Catherine Cassidy. .300 turn here. And lane 1 out front, Carolina Shaw of Scarlet Aquatic, 327.51 in second. Back over this side, over in lane 8 for Westfield Aquatics, Catherine Cassidy. Now racing up through the middle. We got our swimmers there, and then in lane 8, Catherine Cassidy, Westfield Aquatics. Catherine Cassidy touching first here in Heat 7 for the women, 437.12. This is Heat 7 for the men. Heat 7 for the men now underway. Lane 1 for Mason Manarays, Arjun Lithium. 2 for Mako Swim Team, Carson Bruner. 3 for Bahana, Chase McCluskey. 4 for Center Grove Aquatic, Max Height. 5 for Carmel, Colin Kemick. 6 for Scarlet Aquatics, Aiden Nugent. 7 for Atlanta Swimming, Timothy Donan. And lane 8 for Westerville Aquatic, Jamal Deek. Coaches, don't forget at the end of our 400 freestyles here, there'll be a Section 3 coaches meeting back in hospitality. Again, at the end of the 400 frees, there'll be a Section 3 coaches meeting back in hospitality. Hopefully you have a representative from each club there at that meeting to hear the important information that'll be discussed. Arjun Vlatham from Mason Man Race here in Heat 7 for the men, 4:17.93. Heat 8 for the women. Heat 8 for the women, lane 1 for Greater Kalamazoo, Evelyn Welser. 2 for Westfield Aquatics, Haley Morris. 3 for Scarlet Aquatics, Julia Ortisovich. Open lanes in 4 and 5. Lane 6 for Mason Manarays, Julia Ball. 7 for Valparaiso, Edith Patterson. And 8 for Michigan Lakeshore Aquatics, Genevieve Springer. Lucas Spiller, lane 5, 4:16.73. Heat 9 for the women coming up. Heat 9, lane 2 for Duneland Swim Club, Peyton Ostertag. 3 for Piranha Aquatics, Trey Hively. 4 for Bobcat Swim Club, Delaney Snodgrass. 5 for Mason Manarays, Ainsley Neff. Lanes 6 and 7 are open lanes. Delaney Snodgrass Bobcat Swim Club here in lane 4 to finish off heat 9 and a time of 4:44.95. This is heat 9 for the men. Heat 9 for the men. Lane 1 for Irish Aquatics Sawyer Wells. 2 for Irish Aquatics Seth Wertz. 3 for Mason Manarays, Malinga Cole. 4 for Carmel Swim Club Austin Bruford. 5 for Indiana Swim Club Botan Kuhn. 6 for Carmel Swim Club Andrew DuBois. 7 for Carmel Swim Club Noah Muller. And lane 8 for Lawrence Swim Team Wesley Drake. .300 turn here in heat 9 for the men, with Sawyer Wells Irish Aquatics out front lane 1, turning at a 3:11.57. Ahead of Noah Muller from Carmel in lane 7, 3:11.84. Noah Muller from Carmel heads heat 9 into the wall. He touches in a 4:15.85. Heat 10 for the men now. Lane 1 for Greater Kalamazoo, Ben Boyd. 2 for Newburgh Sea Creatures, Cy Young. 3 for Scarlet Aquatics, Reed Stellatella. 4 for Royal Swimming, Carson Custer. 5 for Greater Kalamazoo, Casey Kupta. 6 for Greater Toledo Aquatic, Landon Harmon. And 7 for Irish Aquatics, Carter Schultz. And 8 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Nathaniel Marshall. .300-meter turn here in Heat 10. Reed Stellatella of Scarlet Aquatics out front, 3:11.71. Ahead of Casey Kupta, a Greater Kalamazoo in lane 5. Here are the results of preliminary swims. The women's 400 freestyle. Second alternate in D is Ramey. First alternate Harkin. In the D final, Cassidy, Frankie, Floyd, Schaefer, Hoyk, Emmert, Sims, Powers, and Ensing. In the C final, Kroc, Eakin, Docker, Fairbanks, Brenneman, Ledwith, Shedler, and Tipley. In the B final, Parsons, Bina, Vasilikos, Metzger, Zarnecki, Schumacher, Lee, and Carson. And I will be back with the A final and the women's 400 free in just a moment. We just had Schultz from Irish Aquatics touch the first there, 4:15.10. Now Heat 11 of the men's 400 freestyle. Let me just recap in the B final of the women's 400 free. Parsons, Bina, Vasilikos, Metzger, Zarnecki, Schumacher, Lee, and Carson. And in the A final of the women's 400 free, Kim, Ward, Toronto, Colback, Street, Kim. So we got, so we got Iris Kim and Chloe Kim, both in the A final. Kate Hurst in the top seed from Carmel. Kayla Hahn at a time of 4:14.74. Time now 1:29 in the 30-minute scratch rule in effect for event number 24. Edison Campion, Westerville Aquatic, 4:18.25. Heat 12 for the men. This is our final heat of 400 freestyle. Lane 1 for Great Lakes Sail, Paul Korwitz. 2 for North Canton Aquatic, Griffin Demuth. 3 for Carmel Swim Club, Alexander Harrell. 4 for Bobcat, Levi Moore. 5 for Valparaiso, Cade Kennedy. 6 for Mason Manarays, Ethan 2. 7 for Fast Tigers is Caden Askren. Coaches, again, a reminder that at the conclusion of the heat that's in the water, there'll be a Section 3 coaches meeting back in the hospitality room. Again, following the heat that's in the water, Section 3 coaches meeting back in hospitality. Also, at the end of the heat that's in the water, I'll start the clock on a 15-minute break, warm-up period, and then we'll get into our 8 heats of time trials this afternoon. .300 turn for Caden Askren of Fishers. 100 to go. 313.01 as he turns. Ahead of Alexander Hamill of Carmel. And Caden Askren from Fast Tigers. 416.76. That's everybody in and on the wall now. We start the 15-minute clock. We are 15 minutes away from time trials. Time trials will begin approximately 1:52. Main competition pool is